Mednas, how are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Very good. It's good to see you here in Miami.
Good, same here.
Yeah. So your artist name is Mednas,
Yeah.
but what is your real name actually?
Mehdi Nasiri. So it's a combination of my name, my first name and last name.
First name and last name. So as we know, you are the resident DJ of Live Miami and also Story before Corona started. How do you manage being at the forefront of the music scene?
I mean, it's intimidating at the beginning, but after you get used to it, you get used to it. It becomes just like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How long have you been actually resident in Live, for example?
live 11 years now.
11 years. So you've seen all the big DJs coming in, you played with
Yeah.
them.
From the underground scene to the most commercial.
So Calvin Harris,
Yeah.
David
Richie
Guetta.
Houghton, Calvin Harris, Tiesto, Marco Carola. I mean, you name it. And Fisher.
Fisher, yeah.
All of these guys.
Well, congratulations, man. It's a really nice spot to be in.
Yeah.
Among all these DJs we have played with, who did you enjoy having the most?
I mean, most like the majority, I have a good relationship with them. I mean, from like people like Calvin Harris, like we talk from time to time. Like have like Sunny James, Tiesto, Oliver Helden, Marco Carola for the underground. Like the more you play with these people, like you get like some sort of relationship. You get closer, and it helps also for music. So you can when you produce your tracks, you have like contacts to send to. So instead of going to the labels, sometimes you don't get an answer. At least like you get a shortcut.
And how does it work exactly? Like in the club, who plays when?
I warm up the room for them. So I'll do the first part. They come in for like depending on the DJs. Like usually like the most commercial DJs they play around like 90 minutes to 2 hours, and then I jump back in. And for the underground, it's about the same. Sometimes they want to finish the night. Sometimes I jump in. Sometimes we do back to back. So.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah, depends on them.
I heard that a few years ago there was a surprise apparition from Axel in Ingrosso. Can you tell us about that night?
Yes, so they were actually playing like an event somewhere in South Beach. And then after the event, the event finished early, and then they ended up at Live. I was playing. And they were in the crowd, like they were in the VIP side, and then they saw the vibe was good, and they're like, "Oh, let's jump in," and they stopped playing with me.
But there was so they were not expected to be playing.
No, it was Kreider was supposed to play after me, and then they just came in, and like they were close. They close to Kreider, so they jumped in. Kreider came in after. It was a crazy night.
Yeah. When was that?
That was probably like in 2016.
So after Swedish House Mafia split. So.
Yeah. I think around 2000. Yeah, I think 2016.
And I also seen lately Black Coffee. I think it was last week actually. Black Coffee.
Yeah, I played last week with Black Coffee.
You played with Black Coffee. Yeah. So you are used more to a mix of EDM, commercial. This time also sometimes underground, of course, with Marco Carola, Richie Houghton. This time it was Afro House.
Yeah.
What do you think of Black Coffee, of Afro House, which is kind of?
Well, I mean, like at the beginning of my career, I was playing stuff like more like Afro-ish, and then when like Black Coffee became big, I used to play like his tracks when like probably like nobody knew who Black Coffee was.
Yeah.
And when he got big, the style became like more not mainstream, but were like a trend. And I mean, it's good for me because it gets me to know like more about like different type of music. And it's always good to build a vibe with the style that you don't play often.
Do you think sometimes it's also influence which track you're gonna play, or maybe even when you are, for example, playing with Black Coffee, you hear Afro House style, and you
Oh
think,
yeah, yeah. Like I always pay attention. You know, like I listen to every type of music, even if it's not like house or electronic.
Yeah.
There's always some influence you can take from. There's always an inspiration. So you get like ideas from different styles, and it's always good because it helps you be different from other people.
Now, if we speak about the preparation of sets, how do you personally prepare yours when you want to play in whichever club you play in?
I mean, for my residency, I know the room, I know what works. So whichever style I have to play, I know exactly what things I have to focus on. And basically, like my sets, I don't really prepare them because I play depending on the reaction of the crowd. But I have a wide selection of music to kind of switch it up, and like I like to build a set like in a certain manner, and that's usually like that's how I do it. I don't really like have an idea what I'm gonna play until I start playing.
Do you use the record box to organize your tracks? Or?
Yes, recently I just started doing it a couple of years ago. I was using when I switched to USBs and SD drives. I was just like drag and dropping to the USB.
Really?
Yeah. So then I started using record box, and it made it much easier.
Yeah. Right, it was a big transition between CDs and USB.
Well, vinyls
first.
CDs, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I started, it was like the earliest. It was the end of vinyl and the introduction of the CDs. So I was in that era, and it was like a big transition, and it made it even easier because you can have more music and less to carry.
Less to carry, yeah. Now, I also know that you have played the Ultra Music Festival, and I think even not just once, twice maybe, or once.
No, I did actually. I think I did twice. Yeah, I think 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
And then I was supposed to play in 2020, and the festival got cancelled.
Yeah. So, for you who played both in huge clubs with capacity of, I don't know, Leave Miami, what is the capacity? 2,000 people?
1,200, and Story is about 2,000.
2,000, yeah, okay.
It's a little bit bigger.
So, for you, what is the difference between playing in a club where you have, between 1K and 2K people, and the festival in which you can have more
It's a different vibe. It's completely different vibe, different energy. Like the energy is like to the roof in a festival. I mean, you cannot compare it to a club. And the club is more like more intimate. Like you're more close to people. You play different, more like groovy stuff rather than like big room stuff.
You like both, or you prefer one of the two?
Both is
good.
Both different.
Ultra and Live. That's a good setup, huh?
It's always good to like have like different venues and different like events to play. It's always good. It helps you like play differently also.
Yeah. Apart from DJing, of course, you are also a music producer.
Yeah.
You have signed with some of the biggest labels on the electronic music scene, such as Axton, Size Records, Hell Deep.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a really good achievement. But second, can you tell us, for example, what is your approach to making a track? How do you start? How do you progress in it?
Usually, I start with a loop of drums, and then I start building around that. Sometimes I take a sample of like an old song, put it and build around it. Sometimes I take a vocal that I like from a song, and I start it as a remix, and then I remove the song and then like the vocal, and then I make it like an original. And it's always there's always something that gives you like a direction at the beginning, so like it makes it faster to build the track. And sometimes I just I have an idea and just like go with that idea. In music there's 1,000 ways of doing something.
I saw also you have made a remix for Sunnery James and Ryan Marciano on their label Sono.
Yeah,
So
I did 3 actually.
You 3 remixes.
Yeah, 3.
So for these remixes, are you more the type of remixer who's gonna take some stems from the producer and then play with them, or you only use the vocal and then make your own
I
idea?
only use the vocal because usually when you use the stems, it gives you a direction that will take you probably close to the original, and I'd rather just start from scratch and use the vocal and take complete different direction and make it my own. So like it's actually like a rework of the whole single whatever is remixing.
Which track of yours you are the most proud of?
I think the Ill Behavior, the one I did with Sid on Size Records. That was one of the biggest tracks actually I did. It was like the most played track in Ultra, 2014, yeah. And then like the one I did for Hell Deep, too, is good. It was played by Diplo, Dylan Francis, several like people, Martin Garrix I think played it. Like a couple of like big DJs.
All the big guns.
Yeah. So that one had a good year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are at the moment also working on some new projects.
Yeah, now like it's more underground, so it's more like tech house, more groovy, like stuff like Michael Beebe and stuff. So it's more like a little bit fast, but energetic, a lot of energy in it.
So your signature sound has actually evolved from, probably 8 years ago compared to now, from more EDM, big room.
Well, I mean, I started really underground. It was like really like it was more progressive, but not progressive what they call progressive now. As well, like progressive, kind of Sasha style, And then when I moved to Miami, it was hard to get gigs, with that style. Like it was too underground for clubs in South Beach.
Yeah.
So I kind of became like more accessible, playing more, more housey stuff, and got to like a certain level, like more like commercial.
Yeah.
But now I'm going back to my roots and doing what I actually like to do.
Yeah.
So it's more like underground. I like more like house and tech house. That's my thing.
So talking about roots, your roots are from Morocco, right?
Yeah, Morocco.
Do you sometimes are tempted to use some instruments or percussion from Morocco?
I always listen to like folkloric bands that we have back home, and it's good because it helps you bring like some sort of like taste and roots from back home and implement them into like electronic music.
Yeah.
And I'm always listening, to like different bands. That probably like a lot of Moroccans don't know. It's like they're like very like underground. So it's good because it can give like a different twist to your track.
Yeah. Before we finish, when can we see you come play in Europe?
I mean, whenever Europe opens, I'm ready. I usually, like every summer, I play in Europe. I play Ibiza, I play in Greece. I play a lot in Greece, actually. Like every summer, I've been in Greece.
Which island?
I did Mykonos, Kos, Ios. I played Cabo Paradiso in Mykonos.
Yes.
South of France. Like whenever it opens, maybe I'll be more often in Europe.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting.
Yeah, I'll see you there very soon, my friend. Mednas, it was really good to speak to you.
Thank you for being.
Hope you have a good time. I'll see you on Thursday in Komodo.
Yes.
And probably Saturday in Live as well. Take care. Huh?
There you go. Take care.